Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Kirby Ferris Show. I'm joined by the beard, Sam Auld.
Yep, it's not going to be there much longer. Flying up to a wedding this weekend, and Deanne, she likes a clean shaven Samuel, so that's what's going to be.
Whose wedding?
My cousin.
Just a cousin. Maybe you should ask the cousin
Just
if you should
cousin.
shave it.
Yeah, I could, but I'd rather just not be pestered about it for a couple days. So
Fair enough.
I like to go with the flow, and this is the easiest flow to go.
Flow to go. That seems like a Chaperone song, honestly.
It's almost.
So you're going up to Boston for this wedding. Clipped
Boston,
me
that's right.
or I guess missed me. So you didn't eclipse.
Passed you by. Yeah.
Passed me by a week. So I'm in the beautiful Midwestern town of Chicago. And people said that Chicago was definitely part of the Midwest is very true.
It's
very, very, very true. It's cool. But man, are these people nice. And it's like the big city for Midwesterners. And so
easily.
It took me a very long time. I was like, why am I seeing all these like Illinois like sweatshirts? And then I was like, oh, I'm in Illinois. Got it.
That's true.
Or like everyone has
you
Wisconsin
like think of Chicago.
Shit.
Yeah. You think of Chicago and you don't think about like the states anymore.
Yeah. I'm like getting a real lesson on geography in the Midwest. I'm like, wow, Wisconsin's that close. Look at North Dakota. I'm right there. I'm like, should I go to Omaha? It's only 7 days. It's only 7 hours.
Series is coming up.
I know. I don't know if LSU's been pretty good this year, but we'll see. But yeah, Chicago's been fantastic. I'm a huge fan of, unlike Boston, it is a car-first city.
Easily.
Pedestrians do not have the right of way, which I think is the right way to be. Cars should not be trying to get into accidents by avoiding pedestrians who just get to walk in the street. That's not how it goes. Like a ton. How much are cars weighing these days? Probably like heavier. Tons of moving fast should not be below a human. Like that doesn't like the pecking order is very obvious in my opinion.
We're going by weight. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing when you go to like the cities in the Northeast and they feel very like condensed and like very like narrow, because they've been around for longer. And then you go to like Chicago and feels much more spread out, or even like Raleigh in the South and stuff.
I know, it's beautiful. It's like there's parking. There's a in the middle of the city and there's a huge parking lot. Like, come on. There's even Home Depots and Lowe's.
Let me put you onto something. Some Midwest lore. Forget Home Depot, forget Lowe's. Check out Menards. Save big money with Menards. I've heard great things
about Menards from our could-have-been vice president. I'm pretty sure he did like an ad with Menards.
Oh yeah, it was funny. I've been seeing memes about the Pope because he was also from Chicago, famously, the new Pope.
Right.
And it's like he's the first Pope to most likely have saved big money at Menards. So that's like their thing. Save big money at Menards.
A Villanova boy, Pope.
Villanova boy.
Sponsor of the New York Knicks.
There's like the like hot dog chain Portillo's in Chicago.
Yep.
And I think I heard that they had like a Pope dog or whatever for like whatever his order was at Portillo's.
This is why
crazy times we're living in.
The Pope really shouldn't be American. Like
we're finding it all out.
There's just too much. Like there's too much culture that like too much of a past.
Honestly,
comes with Americans.
The exact same thought when like they're interviewing his brothers, and I'm like, whoa, I've never pictured a Pope having brothers, but here's like just this random guy in Chicago, and I think his other brothers in like Florida.
Popes at some point, like they might as well be orphans. Like they have no family. It's been a wild ride thus far. I've been here a week, and a lot of things have happened in sports over this past week. So it was very critical for me to set up my Xfinity Wi-Fi, which I'm currently not using because it fucking sucks. Guys, get it together. The lady at Xfinity that called Angel Reese weird, come on. What are we doing here? She said, I'm a Caitlyn fan. And I said, what about Angel Reese? And she said, she's weird. And I was like,
Oh,
okay.
that's right. You're deep in like Caitlyn territory too in Chicago. So
I'm very deep in Caitlyn territory, but also like Angel Reese plays for the Chicago Sky. So we'll get
yeah,
to
I guess
that
that's
later.
right.
Before we dive in, obviously, I want to highlight that I would love for you guys to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. And, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to find us. Just go ahead over there and maybe comment, maybe a little review. How about that?
Ask a question.
Ooh, ask a question we can definitely answer. Probably. I'm an expert on
Definitely.
everything, I believe. What would you say? Do you think
I think you have the confidence to pull it off. Yeah.
Okay. Word. That sounds like the same thing. Unless you I hate betting with Caroline because she's like, I am so sure about things, even if I'm wrong. And she'll know for a fact the right answer. As simple as oh, are we out of salt? And I'll be like, we're so out of salt. And she's like, no, we're not. I'm like, you want to bet 50 cents? And she knows she probably used the salt 5 minutes ago. But just because I'm so bullheaded, she's like, yeah, I'll take it. Let's raise it to 5. That's how it goes. Sometimes you just got to go blazing forward with a full head of steam and hope you're right. But anyways, we're going to talk today, give you a little rundown. The WNBA is fully in swing, and we're going to go over, cover some rookies, some who's hot, who's not. And it's looking like 4 games in that we're already seeing some standout performances from last year's finals foes with both the Liberty and the Lynx. Ooh, there was so much alliteration there. Coming into starting the season off. And then maybe a little NBA conference finals. It's a bit winding down, but some also might say it's heating up, especially with the Pope on the Knicks side. You never know.
Villanova Pope?
The Villanova Pope is, I don't know how he just immediately, even though, New York is nowhere near Chicago, he immediately became a Knicks fan, and I'm so here for it. And then also the Thunder is playing the Wolves. So but that doesn't seem like it's going to go on for much longer. The Thunder is absolutely clapping the Wolves, except for the game where the Wolves beat them 40-40. But that just kind of seemed like a blip. And a special segment, of course, we're going to reveal the official cuties of the 2025 NBA playoffs. Sam, I already know who you're going to pick.
Really? Maybe I'll surprise you.
Okay, looking forward to it. And then honorable mention, Sam's UNC women's lacrosse team takes home the Natty for the 4th time in school history. Sisters.
Undefeated season.
I love these names. Come on, guys. Sisters Chloe, Ashley, and Nicole. I mean, what is this? They could have, what are they, born in 2008? And their parents watched the Disney Channel? Come on, where are we getting those names? But they combined for a total of 4 goals and 5 assists in their UNC's 12-8 win over Northwestern. Pretty excellent stuff from these girls who really persevered in the end. I can't imagine what it's like to win something with your sister, but one time we did a little dance recital and we practiced and practiced and practiced. And then I ended up almost breaking my neck doing a backflip because I learned that day how to do one, and I felt pretty confident going in. I'll just say we lost, and I really felt so embarrassed. And maybe let my sister down a little bit. But hey, who's to say? I never asked her how she felt, but I'm sure it was negative. And then, Sam, we lost a good one this week. Allegedly. Or I guess last week. Jim Irsay, rude honorable mention, because, it should be its own segment, but, how can you slate an RIP into, a quick rundown?
We're honoring him by mentioning him.
Colts owner, Jim Irsay, legendary man, died at the age of 65. Will be remembered by me as an animal lover who sought to fly and save Takate/Lolita. If you remember, we talked about this orca on probably an episode last year. He wanted to fly an orca from Miami to Seattle so that she could be with her orca people in the Puget Sound. So we lost him. He didn't make it happen. Lolita died before he could, we could see her flourish or swim, I guess. But now he has 3 beautiful daughters who are going to take over the Colts organization, and they have been training to do so for the past 15 years. So at least the Colts organization doesn't have anything to worry about, but T's and P's to the Colts family. Jim Irsay will be missed.
His last tweet was cheering on the Pacers in the conference finals, so maybe they're just taking that to heart right now.
And that's great. I get it. You gotta do it for something to guide the team, but it doesn't look that way. Sorry, Jim. Next year, maybe. Because you're facing the Knicks, and it's not looking good. Well, I mean, it actually is looking quite good.
It's looking good.
It's looking quite good. Should we get into the NBA first or the WNBA?
Let's just do NBA.
You want to kick us off?
Let's kick us off. So yeah, we have the NBA Conference Finals. Let's launch it. In the East, we have, like we mentioned, the Knicks and the Pacers. And in the West, we have the Thunder and the Wolves. Let's do them first. Not as interesting. The Thunder are up. I think they're up 3-1 now after last night. Like Kirby said, they suffered like a 40-point loss randomly, but it's looking like the Thunder, they're going to make it to the NBA Finals. They had the MVP with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. It seems like they're the team to beat. And over in the East, that is where all the drama is right now.
Wait, I have something to say.
Let's hear it.
Thunder, for these last couple of games, have been, putting the T-shirts out for fans. And one game they had sections in alternating in blue and white, and it looked so bad. It looked like a weird checkerboard. It really looked like D2 kind of situation. And then there were some people that made comments about that, so they switched to one color, and they chose blue this time. And I don't know what about it, but it looked so stupid to have a whole crowd of blue, like royal blue, grown people in the entire stadium. It just stop with the T-shirts, guys.
Yeah,
is that a hot
I feel like
take?
white's probably an easier color for most people.
They did white the last game, and it still looked stupid. So maybe it's just the Thunder fans. But let's get back to the Knicks, the most important.
Yeah, so over in the East, like we said, we have the Pacers. They are up 2-1 to the Knicks, and it hasn't been without drama. Game 1, Knicks were leading for the most part, and Pacers kind of made a miraculous comeback in the last minute, maybe.
2 minutes and 45 seconds in the fourth quarter, they were up by 14 points. And I was feeling pretty good about myself. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
And then
I'm texting Kirby. All of a sudden, Pacers, they start coming back. They're getting it real close. It's right down to one possession game. Tyrese Haliburton throws up a prayer to tie the game, hits the back of the rim, bounces up. Knicks fans everywhere are kind of breathing a sigh of relief, but then it goes in to tie the game.
Cursed.
Heartbreaking. It was cursed. It was heartbreaking. It was overtime. One thing too, Tyrese
the thing is,
hit
it looked like a 3.
Choke celebration.
He hit it, and the 3 would have won the game, but it was actually a 2 because his toe was on the line. And he hit the choke celebration, and I was stunned.
I don't know. I didn't like it. Not because of the celebration. I just thought it looked kind of corny when you're going to overtime to hit them with the choke.
He didn't know, though. That's the thing. He didn't know.
That's true. He was in the moment.
He really thought. I think everyone thought it was a 3 until about when he was done with the chokehold thing.
Yeah, and I mean, we're kind of bearing the lead too. The Pacers end up winning in overtime as well.
It was so weird. That game, obviously I'm watching it, and we're it's game 1. I'm feeling really good about myself because this could go either way. This is a tough series because the teams are, I think they're so pretty evenly matched in how they play, and they're high scoring and stuff like that. And then the Knicks just lost, kind of just I was like, I don't even know. It was like they went to the sideline and they're like, guys, why don't you look at that thing up in the stands and really focus on that and not focus on the game. Because then it just happened out of nowhere. The Pacers were, how? It was just like turnover, turnover, turnover. And then this fucking
Missed
dude,
free throws.
Aaron Nesmith, I had to learn his name this week, unfortunately. He made 8 3-pointers and 5 were in the fourth quarter. 5.
That's
He came
insane.
out of there with 30 points. And I was like, bruh, Tyrese Haliburton, I'm pretty sure, scored the majority of his points in the fourth quarter. And it was like Jalen Brunson, he was doing all he could, and then he just turned the ball over. I mean, they really took their eye off. What's this? Took their eye off the ball? No, that can't be it. That's some ball.
That's keep your eye on the ball. Eye off the prize.
Yeah, that's one. That's the one. They took their eye off the prize. That doesn't sound right.
Eyes off the prize. Anyway.
So they just got absolutely cooked. Found this stat here that teams leading by at least 14 points in the final 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the fourth quarter have been 994-0 since they started taking down this play-by-play stat. It's never happened before.
Wow.
I was feeling high as a kite. I was like, man, Thursday's going to be great because the Knicks are going to win. I'm going to wear my hat proudly. And then I had to wear my hat with kind of just like resistance, you know? I was like, guys, we got, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm embarrassed, but like, we got it. And then game 2 happened.
Game 2 happened. I'm going to be honest, I can't really remember game 2. Wasn't it? It was like kind of close, and then the Pacers just kind of took off.
I was
right
thinking
at
the
end.
same thing when I was writing this. I was like, what even happened? Like, I know we lost, but really the only thing to remember was this dude, Pascal Siakam, scoring 39 points. He was unstoppable.
Jeez.
And I was like, who the fuck is this dude? A lot of people on the Pacers that I'm learning about them at a very inconvenient time. And let's say, not to be honest, Pascal Siakam is already an NBA champion. So that's on me. But he's not supposed to be the guy that drops 39 and 2.
It's true. Yeah, game 2, I'm just looking at it now. It just looks like it was kind of back and forth, and then Pacers just kind of took over in quarter 4, and that's all she wrote.
They're just some guys. The troublesome thing about the Pacers is that I love everything about them.
But they're playing the Knicks.
And so, like, last year when they were playing the Celtics, I was like, let's go Pacers. Love you guys.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously fuck the Celtics. Sorry, Boston, but you guys get it. And now it's like it's a lose-lose situation when the Knicks lose. Because Tyrese Haliburton is the most endearing fellow I've ever seen. His eyes are so big. He goes to all the Fever games, which,
true.
As I said to you, like the kids are saying these days, aura farming, which new to me, but it makes sense, especially after the chokehold situation. But the Knicks came back in game 3, and
it's
really
true.
Gave it to them.
The Pacers were up 20 in the second quarter, almost about halftime, and they kind of, reversed the choke celebration on them. Knicks came back. Largest lead, Kirby, was 6 points, and that was with 2 seconds left in the game.
Sure was.
So all that matters.
I mean, doesn't that sound like super familiar? The Knicks come back by 20 to win the game?
Yeah. But it's like what it's all about.
The Pacers did the same thing. So it's like, this is like truly, it really gives whoever has the ball last kind of thing. But I love when they're like Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson are in foul trouble. And they're like, I really trust Jalen Brunson. I'd put him back in the game. But Karl Anthony Towns, he can't do it. He makes the dumbest decisions. Every single foul, they're like, and that was stupid. Like, y'all really come for this man. And also, since this is like part a gossip podcast, this thing with him being zesty, a completely new word to me.
Really?
He's one of the taller dudes. And if you don't know who Karl Anthony Towns is and what he looks like, please go look him up. I'm so down for the Zesty. I caught a video because his voice, it goes up and down in the strangest
He
ways.
like code switches
Exactly.
the pitch of his voice.
It's crazy because after all that,
SEC.
Mason Vogt would have triple double.
oh my god!
Down single coverage goes right at Smith. Kind of an awkward.
Basketball skills and the fit with Jalen Brunson, but you're playing at home.
Bro, they asked me in media about you.
What?
They really did. What?
I love the oh my god.
Oh my god!
They really did.
Oh my god! And after all that, it's so good. And then the way he passes, he's just like he has pizzazz and dazzle on like everything he does. And I'm so here for it. I didn't realize.
I do love obviously, you know, Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota, he was Cat, and he moves to New York and he becomes Bodega Cat. It's the nickname.
Have you seen that SNL skit about the Bodega Cat?
I don't think so.
My least favorite, but it's Caroline's favorite, and it's kind of like a rendition on Willy Wonka, and it's with that man
Oh gosh.
who's white and Catholic and was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and then he had a baby with like a 23-year-old, and now he's back on the scene and really shows that, you know, like white men can do it, but he's the lead in that skit.
So I don't know who you're talking about.
He's skinny. He used to be skinny and white. He's still white. He's actively white. You know who I'm talking about.
John Mulaney?
Yeah, John Mulaney. He was in it. He did Bodega Cat vibe, and there are rats around. He was Willy Wonka. Anyways,
Oh my gosh.
Karl Anthony Towns was the hero in Game 4, despite Game 3, despite his zestiness. And I'm not saying zestiness is bad, obviously. You know, I'm here for my brothers in the community. We love you. You know, you add flavor. I don't know if that needs to be cut out. I'll ask Caroline. But yeah, Knicks are back. We're back in it, baby. We're going to win tonight, which starts in approximately 40 minutes. But what I really want to talk about before we go to the second half of this podcast. After 8 games, Tyrese Haliburton's dad is now allowed back into the arena after he taunted Giannis with a towel. He went up to his face with a towel, went up to Giannis's face with a towel with Tyrese Haliburton's face on it and was like shit talking him. And then
Crazy.
they go, this clip next goes, they get head to head.
Forehead to forehead.
Least a foot shorter. Go forehead to
At least.
forehead. And I've never, like, this man is so fucking bold to get forehead to forehead with a dude that's so much bigger than you, and you're just a dad. Like, you don't even play. Stephen A was like, yeah, like, he really loves his son. I'm like, no, that man is a lion. It's giving like a Yorkie who thinks they're a lion, who thinks they're like one of those big dogs walking around.
Yeah.
But now he's back because it's a once in a lifetime that your son, well, actually he played in the conference finals last year, but now he's back. What are your thoughts? Do you think your dad would go face to face with Giannis?
Oh no.
I know for a fact
First off,
Hayden Ferris
my
would.
dad, he likes getting the cheapest ticket, so you know, he's up in the nosebleeds.
Right.
There's never a chance for him to get anywhere near face to face level.
I can't imagine. I mean, right? Daddy has to have free tickets, but now he's being banished to a suite,
yeah.
so he can't. So the dad can't be on the court anymore. Like,
That's
dude,
true.
get it together. You're a grown man. But if I'm faced with the option to taunt Giannis in a Game 5 situation, I think I might do it. Like, I raised that boy. That's basically my win, is how he's seen it.
That's how a lot of NBA dads see it, I think.
But yeah, I think Hayden would definitely have gone forehead to forehead with like a 5'8" soccer girl back in the day. If she if I like really put the moves on her and broke her ankles or something, which never happened. You know, look, the number 1 scorer in Louisiana, if I took him down, I'm sure Hayden would have a lot to say on the drive home. Let's just say that.
That would be awesome.
And with that, we're going to take a break. And on the other side, we're going to pick up on the women's part of basketball, the W.
Tee-hee-hee. Tiva's out here making cute shoes like never before. To all my sisters out there, step out of those sweaty, clunky shoes you've worn for the past 4 summers and into a new pair of Tevas. Dare to be colorful, versatile, and heck, it's about time we're all comfortable. Make sure to put them in your will because you'll have them forever. Tevas, Tevas, who cares? We're all family.
After all that, we're back.
We're back.
Can you give me a, oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was not nearly zesty enough.
Sorry. My window's open and I saw someone out there.
You're on like the 3rd floor.
They were right there. There's still someone else out there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, well we're back with the W. Like I said, we're about 4 games in. Some teams have played 5. And there's already showing who's hot and who's not.
Who's hot? Who's not?
Who's not?
Where do you want to start? Top or bottom?
Let's start top.
Top? Well, it's like you kind of tease it at the beginning, Kirby, but we have the alliterating Liberty and the Lynx, last year's finalists, and I think they're both undefeated, if
Yeah, they're both 4-0.
I'm correct.
Right now they're 3-0.
They're just undefeated.
Yeah.
I think Lynx 4-0, Liberty 3-0.
Yeah, that's correct.
So yeah, the good teams staying good.
None of them. Well, actually, what's interesting is that the Lynx lost maybe 2 of their starters.
Yeah.
From last year. And I guess, the Liberty picked up Natasha Cloud, who I'm pretty sure was on the Phoenix Mercury last year. An absolute defensive dog. She completely, like, the team looks completely different, and they were already good. She's the one that locked up Caitlin Clark on that last play. And Caitlin couldn't get off a shot.
Yeah.
So I wonder, but that was a close game, actually. The Fever pretty much, they look better than their record is at 2-2. And you know who also
Lost to the
doesn't look
Liberty.
that bad?
What'd you say?
You know who also doesn't look that bad?
Who's that?
The Valkyries.
The Valkyries, yeah. They are 2-1. Pretty good. First 2 wins in franchise record, so keep them coming.
Yeah, and not to like give it to a man, but I think maybe that white guy who plays for the 2nd-year player on the Golden State, he's been going
Jabsky.
almost every single game thus far, which has been 2. But he is out there like chest bumping girls. Like he is basically going to be the Spike Lee of the Valkyries. It's giving real fan favorite. Maybe looking for, like I thought Haliburton was last year, coming to look for a wife.
Are you talking about Pajemski?
Thank you. You're always there with the names. But who
There.
sucks, unfortunately. The Dallas Wings and Paige Becker are 0-4.
0-4.
Although Paige she's not bad. She's getting her points. So like, but the rest of her team really sucks. If you remember, Melissa Smith is on that team.
Yeah, only
Sorry.
4 games, so they can still turn it around. Joining them, winless. Also, we got the Sun and the Sky. Sun, I think, team broke up after last season. So still trying to figure out that identity. And the Sky just haven't looked right, I guess.
It just looks really bad, yeah. It just looks really, really bad. When they played the Fever as the season opening, or their season opening, it, for like the first 10 minutes, they looked pretty evenly matched. I was like, oh, these look like playoff teams. These look like real professional basketball players compared to last year, when they both looked like absolute amateurs. But then the Fever, Caitlin Clark was hitting her threes, which is, she's kind of up and down, but she came out to play in that season opener, in Gainhouse Fieldhouse.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And after a while, the Chicago Sky really fell apart and it looked incredibly ugly. Which brings us to probably the hottest headlines of the WNBA. First, honorable mention, Caitlin Clark is also out for 2 weeks with a quad strain. And
so we'll see what happens.
The pessimists and Pat McAfee are already saying that the WNBA viewers are going to go down, like, extremely. Which is why, guys, you gotta hop off Pat McAfee. He really needs to learn that being a feminist is worthwhile, even though he like pretends to be like, my wife is kicking ass during her pregnancy, and mama, love you, thank you for showing me the ropes. Dude, hire some women. It's not that hard. There's so many of us. But yeah, Caitlin Clark, just like I'm feuding with Pat McAfee, and it's one-sided. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the season opener get into a tussle. Were you watching?
Yeah, I saw it happening. I forget. Yeah. I was watching. I saw it happening. I was trying to remember. I was like, was I watching? I definitely was. And yeah, it was kind of what was going for it. Reese was trying to go for a layup, and Caitlin kind of makes a play on the ball, but also kind of pushes hand out on Reese's
play on the
back.
Ball, in quotes.
In quotes. So kind of pushes her to the ground there and gets called for a flagrant, I think.
Yeah, she completely just like swiped. I wrote hacked at her hands to prevent an easy layup, and just completely. I think she like took her by surprise. It wasn't like she flopped Angel Reese, but she was on the ground, but only for maybe 0.1 milliseconds, because she got up faster than water in hot oil. Popped right, furious. That's what I took away from it. How fast she got up to confront Caitlin Clark. It was so angry that Aaliyah Boston, Fever teammate, got a technical foul for how much energy and force she had to put into stopping Angel Reese from getting in Caitlin Clark's face. And I think everyone wanted to see that. But somehow Angel Reese gets a technical foul for that, even though like, and Caitlin's just walking off like, I didn't do nothing. Come on, girly. You know what you did. It's on tape. Like, she gets called for a flagrant foul, and she's like, what? Me? But everyone in the world has been talking about this. Caroline got a push notification, like, immediately saying that, like, the feud is getting deeper, etc. They got in a fight, and it's like they actually didn't get in a fight. And do I think it's a big deal? No. Because Caitlin Clark does this with everybody. She makes these hard fouls to save reasonable. They're usually reasonable, you know, to save some points. And she pretends like she didn't do anything. And right now she's quoting that it was a good play on the basketball, which Caitlin, girly, it was a foul. Let's be honest. And somehow Angel Reese is getting the brunt of this. In game, whatever. Wherever the Fever play, during that game, she got hateful and racist comments yelled at her from Fever fans after she got fouled, spurring the WNBA to come out with a statement. The WNBA strongly condones racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in our society. Snaps. That was a bar. And we're aware of allegations and are looking into the matter. Sam, tell me why. No, I don't need you to tell me why. This is a repetitive occurrence where Angel Reese is being harassed by fans and the media just for playing in a game against Caitlin Clark. Anything she does is gonna get like complete vitriol response. When are we gonna get past? Why are racists coming out for Caitlin Clark? I don't even know how to frame it.
Yeah, it's interesting just how Caitlin is just this like lightning rod for all the bad intentioned people with whatever narratives they kind of want to push, you know, about whomever or women's sports. And it just kind of sucks for everyone because it's like, you know, Angel Reese and the other players don't deserve, you know, to be called racist things. And, you know, Caitlin doesn't deserve to be associated with that. So
definitely putting Caitlin Clark into an incredibly awkward situation.
Definitely. Yeah.
Especially with other players. Because
oh yeah. Speaking of awkward situations, I have to go pick up my order real quick.
All right. We're back. Sam has a sustenance. DoorDash is incredibly fast. I'm actually a DoorDash-nista.
Tip well, you know.
Recently, I DoorDashed my first grocery order.
Whoa.
I know. I was pretty proud of it. But I'm thinking, this made me think of, right, Caitlin Clark being put in such a weird position with other people in her team and the league. And it really reminded me of the Amazing Whites.
The Exciting Whites.
The Exciting Whites on the Eagles, when everyone is just generally excited when a white guy can play defense. And I think people really love, I mean, I think the stat was like 80% of the WNBA is black. And these people just love to see white people be able to excel in
it's true.
black spaces, which is like fine, you know, like if you can ball, you can ball, right? I mean, look at Steve Nash. No one saw that coming. But I just can't, like, I feel like we've talked about this before of like, they really put her in a position of having to say something, but that's not really her personality. Right. And I think she's gonna have to grow into this role very quickly before she gets tagged truly with, you know, silence is probably like the worst thing in this situation. Even like Paige Beckers, I think really now Paige Beckers came out a couple weeks ago and was like, yeah, the racism is really, really, really bad. And like, we need to recognize it and start dealing with it. And I mean, Paige is a year younger than, maybe she might be the same age as Caitlin, but definitely a rookie comparatively. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's not a funny situation. So there's really no humor in it. Let me try to think of something. You go. I'll think of something.
I was just going to say the Exciting White cornerback on the Eagles, Cooper DeJean, also went to Iowa. So there's just something about Iowa.
What's up with Iowa?
Hawkeyes.
It's like the new thing that like redheads are black. I think it's so exciting. Caroline told me that and I couldn't stop laughing. Gingers being black now, which is why I think DiVincenzo of the Wolves, formerly of the Knicks, has made it to my cuties of the playoffs.
Cuties of the playoffs.
He might rank the highest because I'm pretty sure he's black, but I also think he might be white, but he's a redhead, so it doesn't matter anymore.
We're doing cuties now.
Yeah, who's your
Hang on, whoa. I need to really lock in and look at all my options.
Go ahead.
Maybe I can get one for each team. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this is a two-man race right now for cutie. Obviously, you have Shea.
Baby
icon
face.
status.
Beautiful man.
Yeah. But I think Jalen Williams without the Y, because they have two Jalen Williams, kind of a cutie. I think
Shea has to run away with it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. MVP. You got to give it to him, too.
His hair is so cute. And the way he cried, giving an homage to his wife when he won the MVP. He was like, you taught me how to love. I'm like, okay.
Plus
you guys got together when you were 18, so like I'm sure she did.
Plus he has the Skims.
That's right.
Partnership. Oh, wow. Yeah. Looking at the Timberwolves now. They got another Iowa player, Luka Garza, but he's not my pick.
Sorry, Luke.
Just shouting out. Actually. See, I was intrigued by Naz Reid, but I don't think I'm intrigued with the cute factor. I think he's just like an interesting
He went to
phenomenon.
LSU.
He did go to LSU. I think for the Timberwolves, honestly, I got to give it to Rob Dillingham, a rookie.
Rob Dillingham is very cute.
See what I'm saying? Okay.
And that Conley guy, he might get it
Mike Conley.
just by being like the nicest man in the world.
I think he's like above cute. He's like, oh, that's a respectable, good-looking gentleman.
It's obvious. Actually, the Pacers they picked up some real cuties in the offseason.
They did. I think I still just have to give it to Tyrese Haliburton.
Absolutely.
I don't think you can beat that.
Okay, my secret, Andrew Nimhard.
Really? Let me see.
So cute. When he was low-key a part of the... I mean, I wouldn't say low-key. He was high-key a part of the first game one comeback. Oh my god. He's like sort of cute, like with like Naismith. Like Naismith is sort of cute, but I also kind of hate him now. So we're gonna give it fully to Andrew Nembhard, and then maybe a little bit TJ McConnell, but
Yeah.
just
Nembhard.
just for funsies, we got it. He'll get thrown in there for on the bench. He's a bench player.
He's the rising
He's
star.
my second team cutie is TJ McConnell.
No, Nembhard, I think I wasn't considering him too much just because I think his like ESPN roster photo isn't the best.
Yeah, but it's like,
but seeing some photos of him just like in the game, cute. Yep.
He kind of looks like Cordell from Love Island USA, which you will be watching. It starts new season starts on June 3rd. Check back in to the Kirby Fair show, maybe for good goss on that.
And yeah, I think honestly, I'm looking at the Knicks now. I think this is the most stacked cutie team there is left.
Wow.
In the playoffs. I'm looking at Mikal Bridges, cutie. Looking at Josh Hart.
Josh Hart is sexy. He can't make the list because that man is sexy.
He's playing a different league? Okay. And then
he's in a different league.
I think I'm going Bodega Cat as my pick.
You are not putting Karl Anthony Towns on the cutie list. Like, that is like everything you've said before this doesn't count.
All right, then I'll go Bridges.
Mikal Bridges is adorable. Jalen Brunson is adorable. And Josh Hart is chef's kiss. Thank you to the world.
Yeah.
And I think honorable mention has to go to PJ Tucker.
Let's see.
The 18-year vet who's just on the team for vibes.
That's true.
Oh, he was born in North Carolina, in Raleigh. Look at that. He was drafted in, let's see, he's 40 years old. This man is 40 years old and easily looks like he will never get off the bench unless it's like truly an emergency. But he's there for vibes, and I'm here for PJ Tucker. But yeah, PJ Tucker definitely makes the list. Honorable mention. Mikal Bridges, the beard. Come on, how can you be so cute and so small and have a beard like that? Too cute. But guys, we actually have to go see our cuties play in a few minutes, and Sam has his bulgogi that has gotten cold because DoorDash has become too fast. They just turned into door sprinters. Another word for dash, but even faster. And with that, Sam, I'll say thank you for listening and thank you for joining.
Always a pleasure.
Sam, we love you. We love you so much.
Thank you.
And we love you all listeners as well.
Yes, we do.
Goodbye.
See ya.